Chapter 3. Capers Dillon. "Mechanic," the mayor cried. "Do we have one?" "Do we have a mechanic?" Lavender, who's destined for NASCAR glory, keeps every car in town rolling, including the mayor's dented Jeep. Lavender's world class with the unrunning. He could fix anything, I said, as my classmate Thessalonian Thompson, orange hair, round face, pushed through the door. "What's going on?" Thess asked. "A beautiful motorcyclist just plummeted into our midst, miraculously unharmed," Mayor Little said. "I can't wait to tell Mother." "Take off your hat, young man." Thess swiped his gray plaid cap off. Capers Dillon's eyes went red. She sneezed. So did little Agnes. "You must have a cat," Capers said, and sneezed again. "That depends," Thess said, his green eyes shifty. "What has he done?" He took a seat at the counter. "Hey, Mo, a fried egg sandwich with a side of okra. We got a 20% chance of rain, and I'd love to go to a movie with you." Thess is a weather freak. "Movies ain't on the menu," I said. Capers Dillon sank into a chair and unzipped her black leather jacket, which looked like a squirrel had gnawed off most of the left sleeve. "You're lucky you weren't bad hurt," Sal told her. Capers Dillon flashed a wide smile. "I'm lucky I didn't get killed. And you are?" "Sally Amanda Jones. Sal for short." "Nice to meet you, Sal for short," Capers replied. I studied her face. Pale skin, soft freckles across broad cheekbones. She had just enough crook in her nose to make her face interesting. "Actually, Ms. Dillon," Detective Starr said, surveying the parking lot, "you're very lucky you didn't get killed. You skidded down the only safe passage through those cars." "How you popped to your feet, I will never know," an Azalea woman said. Miss Lana set a cup of coffee on Capers' table. "I'm Lana," she said. "We spoke on the phone. You're our inn's first guest." Capers beamed. "Pleased to meet you. I'm here to cover Macon Johnson's trial for the Greensboro Gazette," a newspaper. The trial! I looked up at the 7-Up clock. 7:25 a.m. "A reporter?" the colonel said, his voice backing up like a cat with wet paws. The colonel hates reporters. Also law enforcement, health inspectors, and busybodies. "Why cover Daddy's trial?" Dale asked. "He's mashed potatoes." "He means small potatoes," I said. "That means not very important." She winked at Dale. "You must be Dale Earnhardt Johnson III. "Don't say anything else," I warned. "She's researched you." "And that would make you Mo Lobo," she said, stirring cream into her coffee, "the other half of Desperado Detectives." "As a detective, I ain't used to people knowing more about me than I know about them. So far, I didn't like it." "Capers Dillon, odd name," I replied. Her laugh spattered like rain against a pie tin, taking in the entire cafe. My mother loved recycling last names and putting them first. "It's a Charleston tradition," she said, rubbing her elbow. "Please, everybody, call me Capers." Miss Lana's face lit up. "You're from Charleston, too? Let me get you some ice for that elbow." Capers' gaze drifted to the colonel's sign above the coffee maker. "The colonel, attorney of sorts, no license, no guarantees, questions taken Thursday afternoons only." The way she took it in stride, I knew she'd researched the colonel, too. "Miss Dillon," Detective Starr said, "what happened out there?" He flipped open the notepad he keeps in his shirt pocket. Was he giving her a near-death ticket? "Dale and me wonder, too," I said, opening my order pad and picking up my pen. Capers took in the cafe faces. "Did anybody see the accident?" We shook our heads. "Well, let's see. A car passed too close, almost blew me off the road." Little Agnes frowned. "No, you fell down all by yourself." "Hush, Agnes," the mayor said. A near lethal blow by. Scandalous. Must have been an out-of-towner. We Tupolites pride ourselves on lawliness." Well, he added, Dale's family is a notable exception, but their farm's outside the town limits. Can you describe the car? I asked. A sedan, she said. Blue, black, I don't know. And I didn't get a license plate number, but I'm sure my insurance will cover any damages to your cars or whatever. If it doesn't, I will. The cafe relaxed. Tupelo Landing, we pay our bills, unless we're making Johnson. Her pretty smile quivered and her eyes flooded. Sorry, folks, I'm not normally a crier. I wish I could be more help. Miss Lana says tears are the universal solvent. It could be true. Harm went into full meltdown. Crenshaw, harm, Crenshaw, he said. I'm willing to let you slide. Let her slide? Harm, sit down, Miss Retzel snapped. Harm folded into the closest seat and put his hands on the table. Miss Dillon, have we met? You seem so familiar. Caper shook her head. Like I said, I'm here to cover Macon Johnson's trial, which ties into a larger trial I'm covering later on. The trial of the murderer Robert Slate, I guessed. Captured by desperado detectives last summer, along with his ugly girlfriend, Deputy Marla Everett. She laughed. Well, I've interviewed Marla Everett, and I don't find her all that ugly. Slate's as ugly as they come. She smiled at Miss Lana. If you don't mind, I'll just catch my breath and hope for a ride to the courthouse. Miss Lana, who doesn't drive as a public courtesy, elbowed the Colonel. Colonel, she needs a ride. Where are your manners? Perhaps I left them in the kitchen, he muttered. I'll check. The kitchen door swung closed behind him. Mayor Little smoothed his tie. Miss Dillon, I'd be glad to squire you about. We'll pick up Mother on her way. She'll enjoy meeting you. A shiver tiptoed up my spine. Mert Little's the oldest, meanest woman in Tupelo Landing. Her tongue sharp enough to shred a cabbage at 20 paces. Caper smiled. And I'd be grateful for a good mechanic, she said. I'll call Lavender and see if he can work you into his schedule, I told her, heading for the phone. Grandmother Miss Lacey slipped a 10 beneath her plate. Remind him about my boiler, would you, dear? She asked. It clunks and bangs every year at this time, but it does rattle my nerves. I told you to replace that thing last year, the Colonel shouted from the kitchen. I'll remind him, I told Grandmother Miss Lacey. Lavender can fix anything, except maybe a broken heart. Lavender's never too busy for me and mine. 15 minutes later, Lavender pulled into the parking lot, the morning sun golden on his hair. He headed for the motorcycle as Caper zipped up what was left of her jacket and strolled toward the door. Dale checked the clock. Guess I can't put it off any longer, he said. He tiptoed to Queen Elizabeth and tenderly shook her awake. We'll be okay, Desperado, I told him. He nodded but didn't meet my eyes. Testifying will break Dale's heart, I thought. And Dale's heart is my jurisdiction. I made an executive decision. I sailed to the table Sal shared with Skeeter. Tall, glasses, freckles, the color of fresh sliced luncheon meat. If I testify first, maybe they won't need to call Dale, I whispered. Skeeter stopped peppering her eggs. I got $8 in tips saved up. Get the prosecution to call me first and it's yours. Sal, with her calculator brain, and Skeeter with her law books, pull strings most people don't even know exist. Miss Lana says they'll run the country someday. The Colonel says he can't wait. We'll see what we can do, Skeeter said as an azalea woman headed to the window. Outside, Caper scooped up her scattered papers and Lavender examined the motorcycle. The azalea woman narrowed her eyes. What do you think? I think she's pretty, Harm said. Nice dye job, Chrissy said. Missy and me can do that color if anybody's interested. Dale shrugged into his jacket. I don't like her. Dale, Miss Lana said. She's from Charleston. Give her the benefit of the doubt. Miss Lana always says give people the benefit of the doubt. The Colonel says give yourself the benefit of your doubts, which you get for a reason. I'm going home to change, Dale said, and gave Harm a shy smile. Thanks for coming today. It means a lot to me. You too, Salamander. Sal knocked over her milk. "Come on, Liz," he called, heading for the door. "See you all at the courthouse." An hour later, only Lavender remained, polishing off a sandwich. The phone rang. "Cafe," I said. "Hey, Miss Rose." Dale's mama kept it short and sweet. "We're on our way," I told her and hung up. "Your mama's Pinto won't start again," I told Lavender. "She needs us." He sighed. "He's brought the Pinto back from the dead so many times we call it Lazarus." "Thanks, Mo." I grabbed my jacket. "Miss Lana," I shouted, running for the door. "I'm riding with Lavender." I scooped the last of Caper Dillon's lost papers from the parking lot and hurled myself into the pickup. "What's that?" Lavender asked. "Good question." Tight, blue-inked handwriting crowded the page. A fine tan scribble of mysterious numbers and letters overlaid the words. "Reporter notes," I guessed, stuffing it into my bag. "I'll get it to her later." We took off from Miss Rose's ailing Pinto and Tupelo Landing's trial of the century. And that is the end of Chapter 3.